The load balancer is actually here across our web layer. This transition here that we're talking about, we are just using the shared resource domain within the vPar. So we are using a tool called GWM, Global Workload Manager. So that is monitoring these systems, and we'll look at it based on priority. So it's not actually looking at transaction, if you like, or needing to be integrated. It is saying, okay, out of these resources that I have, my shared resource domain, how do I allocate resource? If this is my priority resource, so I can prioritize them from 1 to 64, if this is a lower priority, even if this is busy and this, my high priority system needs that additional resource, I can take that resource from here. Because the business says, this is the product that I want to keep going. So that's what we've done there, but you'll notice here we've got 3 CPU and 3 CPU in the database, but over there, how many have we got? So where do they come from? Did Brian talk about instant capacity resources? I get it?
Briefly.
Briefly?
Very briefly. Didn't want to steal your thunder.
Hey, you can fill out the background. Instant capacity is CPU that we can have in the machine that basically we do not own. HP still owns. Call them instant capacity resources. I can call upon those if I want them with what we call a TI cap. So here we brought in 2 additional CPUs into there. Temporary instant capacity gives me the right to turn them on for a period of time. I am charged for that. That's why this guy's still flashing at you saying, hey, you're being billed for that. When I no longer need them, I can turn them off. I can stop being charged. So that is a really good way to add additional resources at a very low cost. A lot of people use that for a number of reasons. One, things like high availability. Because now I can provide a backup system with a lot less resource, but have it as instant capacity that I have paid only a small percentage of the price. And if I have a failure, I can turn it on and use it. The other thing is, as we got to here, we're at 4, we've run out of resource. There is no more resource in that machine to go and say, okay, what if I needed to go to another CPU? Well, that's one of the strengths of the SuperDome. You could actually, not instantly, because you'd have to take delivery of a new cell board unless you had a instant capacity cell board in the machine. So if you have one in there, great, you can turn it on dynamically. If you haven't, you can plug a new one in without taking the machine down. Bring that into the same physical end partition that you're running on and start growing from there. So you can bring in today as a standard cell board would have 4 sockets, dual core, that's 8 CPU we add with memory on the cell board, plug that into the machine, bring it in the partition, keep the whole system running. That's kind of important. And so that's pretty valuable today. So the other thing, this is starting to get to the other end, but so here's my scale out, 2 web servers running. Here's my app servers utilization, my database server. We're both at 4 CPU here, as you can visibly see here. But this is the nice part. So here is my response time. It got up to about over a second. When that second service came online, it dropped down as we took the web layer problem away. And even as we pushed more and more users onto the system, by being able to scale this up, we kept our response time flat. That's what GWM is designed to do, is to help you manipulate resources to maintain your business critical enterprise. It's a very, very powerful tool. There's a whole lot of things we can talk about it, but we probably don't have time to go here. But GWM is a fabulous tool, an HP proprietary tool, I guess, that works in our HP Unix systems and allows us to manipulate that. Now where we're getting to here on the environment is we're starting to drop the load. And as we drop that load, as I said, this guy we're charging for, these extra CPU. So GWM is integrated with that, integrated by design, knows all the technologies in terms of NPAR, VPAR, and even HP virtual machine. Also knows things like ICAP, and will actually take the opportunity to turn off the ICAP ones first to minimize the additional charge before it will return the CPU. So as it comes down, we will do things like return these CPUs before we'll return those ones. The other thing about the instant capacity, it works very similar like a prepaid cell phone charge. So you top up your balance. As you use it, your balance drops. Except there is a very, to me, a major difference. When the balance hits 0, we don't turn it off. I've been on cell phone calls where I have had the balance hit 0 and the call drops. Kind of not very friendly if you're in an emergency or something. What we do is allow it to go negative. When you turn it off, we don't let you turn it on again until you actually top the balance up again. And of course, we take the negative bit off the adder. And the license is it's a 1 CPU month, 720 CPU hours. But you need one license and you can allocate as many CPUs as you like. So if you allocate 5 CPUs, obviously you're burning up at 5 times the rate, but you don't need 5 licenses. So with one license and a number of CPUs available in the system, you can actually get a lot of flexibility in these machines. A lot of dynamic ability to add additional resource whenever it's needed. Where was I going to go here? I just want to drop back a little bit in terms of that front end scaling out. What we used to do in the past was we'd have a long process to build a Reliant server. I want to take it for Reliant. I need to actually decide I'm going to do it. I need to build the process. It can take a lot of people a lot of weeks. Some of the new technologies and things like virtual connect hardware will actually allow me to have what I call a logical image. I can store that on disk. So there's my complete environment ready to go. And what I can do is just bring that in and run it on any blade, in this case that we're talking about, in the environment. It's kind of nice. So if this blade is free, I can bring up an image off there and run it on there. I don't need to actually customize it by things like MAC addresses or worldwide numbers and things like that, because this is what masks that from it. And I can also deactivate and park them. So that gives you the ability to bring things in very quickly. The other things we're working on is even the ability to be able to do a whole flow process on that. Why would I want to do that? Well, even if I've got a logical image, hey, if I haven't used that for a while, is it at my latest virus revision? Is it at my latest patch version? And so on. I can actually go through a number of steps as that part of it standing it up to make sure that it's available, ready to run. Don't have that in this environment because I just added resources to exactly what we're running. I didn't scale out, I scaled up. That's just telling me it's finished. So there is a very flexible way, just showing, hey, in this environment, I can share the resources. In fact, I can share them this way as well. So I could even have my database. Now let me give you an example. My database is, say, running SAP. My app server here for SAP. Where's the load during the day? Down here on my application server. My database is actually only serving requests. It's normally quite lightly loaded. At night, the situation reverses. The application server typically isn't used because you use this to go home or we start running batch. So with this environment, we can actually move resources to the app during the day and we move them to the database at night. And we make those resources keep working all the time instead of having a bunch of resources here doing nothing all day and working at night, or a bunch of resources here working all day and doing nothing at night. If we want to be green, I want a smaller number of resources and have them working all the time. Now, am I allowed to tell tales?
Yeah.
Are they true?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll spice it up a bit.
No, I'll tell you the truth. I had a customer, we put this type of environment in. SuperDome, we had 3 in-par, 8 in V-par across those in-par. And we were using WLM, which we were managing resources across all those partitions. Now, I was on the site, and I was actually one of the guys helping configuring the environment. This was a couple of years back when I was in Asia. And the operations manager came to me, nice, warm, friendly guy, said, I don't want this on my site. This is going to make my life hell. This is too complex. I don't want this.